Do you and your partner feel like you're so comfortable with each other, neither of you is putting in any effort into the relationship? You just lay around in your lounge pants. You kind of have a set routine of what you do, and you do that all the time, and you're okay with that. But at the same time, you don't talk anymore. You're not passionate anymore. It's kind of awkward to even think about romance or intimacy with each other. More than likely, if you're feeling this, you're in what we call the roommate stage of marriage. We don't talk about it a lot. It's kind of taboo. Most couples don't mention it, but it exists, and it exists for anyone who is in a long-term relationship with their best friend. What ends up happening, you get too comfortable. You no longer are trying to be a romantic partner. And that's why this stage is very dangerous, because if you allow yourself to stay in this stage and to continue putting off intimacy or putting off being together and trying a new adventure together, you get very stale, and the relationship reflects that. There's nothing new happening in this relationship and very little growth. So I have tips that you can do for this. But the main thing I'm going to tell you in the beginning, you don't want to stay in this stage for more than 4 to 6 weeks. And the reason is because the more comfortable it is, the more luring it is, the more you stay stuck in it. And the more stuck you are in it, the more it hurts the relationship, because the relationship is no longer being nurtured in all the areas of intimacy it needs. The first thing I'm going to suggest you do is that you spend time apart from each other. A lot of couples are so close that they're together, they do everything together, and they get very dependent upon each other. You don't want to do that. You want to spend some time alone doing meaningful, purposeful things that are going to enrich your life and add zest to it. Because the more you're getting in this area for you, the better you're going to be with your partner, the more you're going to want to share what you're learning, and thus the relationship is going to get more exciting. Secondly, date your partner like they were someone new or a stranger. When you go out with someone new, you usually get dolled up, you look fantastic, the guys look sharp, they wear nice clothes, and when you do that, you actually are putting effort into the relationship, and it reflects your partner's desire. So your partner needs you to do that, because that's how they know you still desire them. And that's a very important part of being in a romantic relationship with someone, whether it's long-term or short-term. You want to know your partner still desires you. And when you date like this person is someone new, you're going to put so much effort into it. You're going to be a better date. You're going to be more fun, and there's going to be a lot more laughter and enjoyment on the date. Number 3, schedule your time for intimacy. Sometimes if you haven't touched in a long time, it can start feeling awkward, like the two of you don't even really know how. You don't want to do this or let this go. Look for opportunities to touch each other, to hug each other, to basically be romantic with each other. You want to look for opportunities to embrace that part of your life, that physical intimacy, which really, really grows the emotional intimacy, which will help knock you out of this friendship or this roommate thing and get you more into being passionate and in love with each other. The next one, hit the road. It's important that the two of you get away at least once a month, and it can just be an overnight, but it's important that you do it, because when couples are together exploring something, they actually fall in love all over again, in romantic love. They start seeing again each other's bodies. They start desiring each other, and they start seeing themselves as a lover instead of a parent or a daughter or a son or any of the other titles you carry with you. It's important that you see yourself as a romantic couple, and that's what getting away can do. And lastly, it's important that you take a class together and practice gratitude. Start saying out loud what you appreciate most about your partner. Talk about all the good things you're grateful for, and take a new class together. When couples take classes or learn something new, it really reverberates in the relationship. The relationship begin sparking. They begin to have new ideas of things they'd like to create for their vision, whether it's a new class in being a realtor or being a renter or whatever you're going to do that's going to enhance the vision of the two of you. That's a great place to start looking for a class that you can do together. And not only that, when you're sharing a class, you have an interest outside the kids or the tasks, normal tasks, or anything else you have to do. Everything is enlightened and new when you're doing new things together. I think what's most important is I've seen a lot of couples that have miserable marriages, and one of the reasons they're miserable is they got stuck in the roommate stage, and then one of the partners made the bad choice to look outside the marriage for excitement. Don't let that happen to you. Don't get caught off guard. When you've been in this stage for more than 4 to 6 weeks, nip it in the bud.